Jamaica's House of Representatives gives the nod to another extension to a state of emergency. And in sport, veteran West Indies opener Chris Gayle eyes the World Cup title to cap off his career. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Wednesday, May 2nd. I'll be back with the details after the break.
The Buku Goat and Crab Race Festival has evolved into one of the island's biggest and most popular annual events. It draws spectators from all over the world. This is the 93rd year this event has been around, which is celebrated on a day fondly known as Easter Tuesday in Tobago. It's even more special because the event is a result of collaborations by the entire community.
Just how serious is this issue with North Korea and its impact on the rest of the world and stability?
If I may, let me just say, the president has to go to Latin America because it is unraveling at the moment. You have country after country that is being destabilized, most especially Venezuela. But as a result of Venezuela's collapse, you're seeing migrations.
Legislators in Jamaica's House of Representatives put aside their differences last night and approved another 3-month extension of the state of a public emergency in the parish of St. James until August 2nd. The measure goes to the Senate today for debate. Prime Minister Andrew Holness had appealed to the opposition People's National Party parliamentarians to provide the necessary parliamentary majority needed to extend the SOE. Now, he said the fear of crime among St. James residents had been reduced during the state of emergency. Holness reported that between January 1st and April 30th, there were 62 fewer murders than in the corresponding period last year. The most recent data showed 133 persons had been arrested and charged, with 22 held for murder under the SOE. But opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips said the data he has showed that up the third week of April, 1,939 people were detained, and he criticized the security forces' strategy of gathering up young men from poor communities and gradually processing them. The PNP had previously said that it would not be supporting the extension unless there was some overwhelming reason presented for the consideration of the public. But Phillips said the resolution for the extension would have his side's support. Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Energy and Energy Affairs, Franklin Cann, is taking full responsibility for inaccurate gas forecast data being provided to Standard & Poor's, S&P, which led to the credit ratings agency warning of a downgrade for the country. In response to a question from opposition Senator Wade Mark in the upper house yesterday, Minister Cann said there was a lapse in protocol at the ministry and said steps were being taken to ensure the mistake is not repeated. He reassured that Trinidad and Tobago's rating was not negative. He said it remained the same, but the outlook changed from stable to negative. Cann confirmed that forecasts of oil and gas production given by his ministry to S&P were based on 2017 estimates. He provided Parliament with the latest figures for 2018.
The forecast that was inadvertently provided was an outdated one that was not revised to include new positive trends in gas production. For example, January 2018 gas production was 3.9 billion cubic feet per day, the highest it has been in over 3.5 years.
Still in the Twin Island Republic, President of the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union is calling for changes to the country's industrial relations system. Vincent Cabrera was addressing workers at a rally in Trinidad yesterday as they joined workers around the world in observing May Day. We get more in the C News report.
President of the Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union, Vincent Cabrera, kicked off the day reminding workers of the importance of unions. He emphasized that without them, the benefits and salaries of all workers would not exist or increase. He called for a different industrial relations system to be introduced in Trinidad and Tobago, one based on rights and not regulations.
I would like to call on the society to abandon this regulation-based industrial relation system and replace it with a system that is based on rights. There are other countries that have done it, including Ireland. We need an industrial relations system based on rights. R-I-G-H-T-S.
Calling for workers' rights to be respected, Mr. Cabrera warned against the Venezuelan refugee situation being used to the disadvantage of Trinidad and Tobago workers.
It is time for us to call on the government for an appropriate migration policy for Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine you're paying a Venezuelan welder $40 a day. That is what they're doing in Trinidad, these blasted capitalists. I am saying that the migration policy must be fair to any migrant that comes to Trinidad.
Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. Veteran West Indies opener Chris Gayle has listed winning next year's World Cup in England among his remaining top priorities as his stellar international career winds towards an end. The 38-year-old returned to West Indies one-day colours following a near 2.5-year break last September and will now spearhead the Caribbean's batting at the May 30th to July 14th World Cup. In reference to his remaining career targets, he said, quote, "Just two things, winning the IPL this year and the World Cup for West Indies next year. I believe West Indies have a big chance of winning the World Cup in 2019. I know we struggled in the qualifiers, but now that we've made it, our next aim is to win it. But right now, it's definitely the IPL. Kings 11 Punjab have never won it," end quote. Gayle is the Windies' leading one-day player, scoring 9,585 runs from 281 one-day internationals and notching 23 centuries. The upcoming showpiece in England is expected to be his last World Cup, which remains the only title missing from his achievements. Gayle has been in excellent form in the IPL, already having scored 252 runs from 4 innings at an average of 126 and a strike rate of 161. And suspended speedster Ransford Beaton has joined the fast bowling camp where he will undergo a reassessment process for his bowling. This was confirmed by Cricket West Indies in a release today. The 25-year-old was reported for a suspect bowling action following the second ODIs against New Zealand in Christchurch last December and failed a recent independent assessment. Director of Cricket Jimmy Adams says the board remains committed on working with Beaton during that period. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.